Hey YouTube witchies, and starting out solitary. It is the Itty Celtic Witch, and I am your Wednesday host for this week. So this week, starting out solitary, we are talking about areas that are out of bounds for us in our practice. So things that we are uncomfortable with practicing and we don't feel spiritually that it fits with our practices. So I guess I thought I'd kind of start off by talking about what used to be out of bounds for me, because I think that as my practice has evolved, I've gotten more and more comfortable with numerous types of witchcraft and magic, and things aren't as out of bounds, I guess, or I'm not as scared of it as I was before. So initially, I was really kind of like, oh, hands off on what they refer to as black magic, which is often curses, hexes, that sort of thing. Protective magic that can often go wrong, I suppose. And coming from a Christian background, and I'd taken a bit of a break before I started my practice, it just seemed like something that was wrong, and for lack of a better sense, black magic at the time seemed like something that would have got me sent to hell. I mean, it makes sense when you consider the background that I was raised in. Now, as I guess my practice has evolved, I'm about 2 years in this coming Beltane, and I found that I am a lot more comfortable with the idea of black magic, and I no longer find it as something that is scary, that I don't think that I'm going to be sent to hell, because frankly I don't believe there is a hell, so that helps the situation. I wouldn't say that I haven't hexed or cursed anybody, but I don't believe that it's something that should be completely out of bounds, because if you were protecting somebody you cared about from somebody who had malevolent designs against your family or your friends or yourself, using a curse or a hex would be totally called for, because it's important to protect what matters most. I guess now there are some things that I would find out of bounds, so black magic isn't one of them anymore, even if I don't find it neat to practice it very often. For instance, I don't practice graveyard magic per se. Like, I don't go to a graveyard and try to conjure up the dead, because I think that they are in a peaceful place, and if a spirit is going to contact you, it is going to contact you, and you should not mess about with it in the meantime. And the other thing that I would say is kind of against my practice would be forceful love magic. Now, I don't think that there's anything wrong with love magic. I mean, I sell love spell candles. I do love spell divination in my Etsy shop, Itty Bitty Celtic Witch, aptly named, I think. But forcing somebody to love you or to take an interest in you, I don't think that that sort of magic is appropriate, because if the person is meant to be with you, then it will work itself out eventually. If they are not, then it just simply isn't going to happen, and that is probably for the better. The love spells and love divination that I do, it's not about forcing somebody into a relationship. It's about trying to increase the love in your life, and if those attracting love energies end up pulling in that person, or not like pulling in, I guess that's the wrong word, but that person, it ends up increasing love in a person's life, and things work out with a relationship that they're having difficulties with, then that was how it was meant to be, and the love spell or love divination was simply casting some light on the situation itself, rather than forcefully trying to make somebody feel emotions that they may not feel. So I guess overall, though black magic used to be something that was off limits for me in my practice, I wouldn't consider it to be so now, and I mainly refrain from conjuring the dead, because I believe they are meant to be where they are right now, and if a spirit's meant to contact you, it will. And forcing somebody to feel emotions that are just not their emotions, I think that's wrong. So that would be my thoughts on areas that are out of bounds in magic. Many blessings and have a wonderful day.